Right, here's the second part of the inequalities lesson, lesson 16. So let's let's draw some graphs. Okay, that's in the middle. And we're going to include, towards the end of this lesson, we're going to bring back the inequalities. So we've got the x and the y, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Minus 1, minus 2. Right, so we're going to draw straight line graphs. Now some of these are very easy and some of them are quite difficult. I think we might do a quadratic one as well if we've got the wheel. Right, so let's have a look at x equals 4. So this is the equation of a straight line graph, x equals 4. So this means that anywhere on the graph you go up and down our line, and it's going to be a straight line, x will be equal to 4. So let's draw that in. So there, x is equal to 4. See the 4? No matter what the y value is, the x is always 4. How about y equals 3? So we need to be on the 3 for the y, and we just draw that straight across. And this one is y equals 3. Now it doesn't matter whether this is a x equals minus 2, because for that one we would just have the minus 2 on the x, so we'd have 1 there. Yeah, so this would be x equals minus 2, and a y minus would be down below there. So there's the nice straight ones. What about x equals y? Well, if x is 1, then y is 1. If x is 2, then y is 2. And x is 3, then y is 3. If x is 99, then y is 99. But we don't go that high. So we've got sort of coordinates here, haven't we? X, y coordinates. So we've got 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 3. So this will be a diagonal line that goes through the middle. And that's nice and neat, yeah. Goes through the middle where wherever you are on the line, x is always equal to y. So, I missed that bit. There, go back. So this one is x equals y. And they're pretty straightforward ones. Of course, these can get more complicated, and they will indeed. So, let's copy that and do another one down below. And now we're going to, let's change your pen and draw these in for you. So you've got plenty of time to do this. You can draw as you're going along. There's the middle there. Doesn't really matter, does it? Whether it's in the middle or not. It's what we do with it when we got it. That's it. So this is x, of course, and this is y. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, and minus 7. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. This makes the video longer, doesn't it, while I'm doing this? So what we're going to do is y equals 2x plus 1. Alright, this is more complicated, isn't it? Yeah. Now, this is called the table of 3 method. The table of 3. So we need to do a little table here. A bit wonky. 1, 2, 3. Do that. Now, we'll have x up there and y down there. It's still a straight line. No squares. When you've got x squared, it's a curved line. No squares, straight line. Okay, this is curved. Quadratic. Yeah. Now, straight line. When you do a straight line, you only need to plot 3 points. Yeah. because if you get 3 points in a row, it's a straight line. If you do this, you don't know which is wrong. Is the middle one wrong, or is that one wrong, or is that one wrong? Should that be up there? Yeah. So this is why you do 3 points. Never do 2, because you just don't know. If you do 2, you could be, and one of them is wrong. Either one of them is wrong, you'll get nowhere. Your line will be off in a completely different direction. So, easiest numbers in the book, 1, 2, 3. So what we need to do is substitute these numbers one by one for the x, yeah, and then you can work out what y is. So if this is 1, we would have y equals 2 times 1. I'll put a bracket to make it look nice. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 equals 3. So when x is 1, y equals 3. Now, 2 times 2 is the next number, plus 1, that equals 5. And the third one is 2 times 3, put the 5 in there. 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7. 7. Now, something worth noting here is that as x goes up 1 in value, y goes up 2 in value. So you can predict that the next number, if that was a 4, that would be a 9. Yeah, but you don't need to do all those. So let's plot these. 1, and let's do it in red so we can see what's going on. 1 and 3, 2 and 5, and 3 and 7. Okay, so let's try and draw these up in a nice straight line. I'm just going to go from the... Oh, no. Well, let's put that out of the way, yeah? That's rubbish. It's a bit sensitive. It's a bit sensitive, so... There. And the reason that those stars are missing is my bad drawing. There. Almost right. Yeah? Okay, so there you go. We got our allegedly straight line. We draw them up and we just carry on extending the line. Now, it might be that you get the question where is draw the straight line of this, but x has values between -4 and +4. So these are the extremities of the line. These are the end of the line. Do not go beyond this. Yeah. So what you've got to do is look along the x value and think -4. I don't need to be any further than that. So we just rub that out, and the same with the up one. Rub that bit out. Don't want to see that. So there's the ends of the lines. I think we might, even if we're lucky, might have another one now. Might do another one. Okay, so let's put that bit down. Copy that. Here's another one. Right. So choose the black pen and the straight line for doing one of these. Straight line for doing another one of these. And we'll just do another graph with 1, 2, 3. I'll put a minus number in now just to see what happens with a minus number. -4, -5, -6. 1, 2. Yeah, if you're studying this for your GCSE, as you probably are, aren't you? Because that's what this is all about. It's well worth getting some squared paper and draw one of these and finding somewhere where you can vote to copy this for practice. Otherwise it takes you as long as it takes me. So how about y equals minus x minus 2. Right, so we've got some negatives number. So a table of 3, 1, 2, 3, there, x and y. Okay, so we're going to put these still the same values, saves us doing too many negative things, and we're going to put 1 in there. So this is going to be y equals minus 1 minus 2, which equals minus 3. You'd put a positive 1 in there, but you still have the minus sign, so don't forget that. So minus 3. Second one, y equals minus 2 minus 2, which equals minus 4. Minus 4. And y equals minus 3 minus 2, which equals minus 5. Yeah, minus 5. And there's our 3 little coordinates that we can plot. So let's have a look. 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 is there. 2 minus 4 is there. And 3 minus 5 is down there. Oh, so now this line is going the other way. I won't leave the how long the line is. Now there's a difference, isn't there, between the line up here and the line down here. Now all graphs go from left to right. Yeah. So this top one could be said to be going uphill. So because it's going uphill, it's a positive graph, a positive, because we have a positive x. So when the x is positive, the line is said to go uphill. Now when the x is negative, the line is set to go downhill. Yeah. So you can predict which way the graph is going to go just by the sign before the x. Now the other thing you can also predict, and we'll come on to that in another lesson. See, we've got minus 2 here. That is where the line crosses the y-axis. So you can guess which way it's going to go, and you know basically where it's going to be as well. What about this one up here? We've got a plus 1. So there, look, plus 1. That's where the line crosses the y-axis. And let's have a look, see whether we can... I think we can do lots of these, but they're all pretty much the same. So I just want to just extend this and just do one example. Copy, copy, copy. Paste. One example of a quadratic graph. So the quadratic graph, you will get something like, and we'll look at this in more depth later on, x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, now this has a square in it, therefore it's going to be a curved graph. If the x is positive, then it will look like that, a parabola, yeah, that has a line of symmetry down the middle. If it's a negative, it will look like that, again a parabola that has a line along the middle. Now if we start to draw this, now the problem with all these graphs is that I never seem to get them to fit. So this is going to be a positive graph, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the middle. It can be a bit to the one side or a bit up or a bit down. It depends on these numbers, how steep it is and where it starts and finishes and that kind of thing. So let's do this graph. Now, because we are where we are, let's have a look at the scale. Usually the scale has to be a bit bigger. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and 18 there. Minus 2. So this is another a little tip, is to look at the scale very carefully, because sometimes they go up in ones, sometimes they go up in twos. And the scale across the side, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for the x, for the y, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. Don't know where it's going to be yet. Now, this time our table of 3 becomes a table of 7. Yeah, because we've got to account for the negative side of the, yeah, so we've got to account for this side as well as this side. So minus 3 minus 2 minus 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. These are our x values where we must find the y when x is these particular numbers. Right, okay. Now, so we're going to stick all these numbers in there one by one and see what happens. So let's do the 3. So y equals 3 squared plus 2 times 3 plus 1. 9 plus 6 plus 1 is 16. And you repeat and you repeat. 2 squared plus 2 times 2 plus 1. So 4 plus 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So that goes 9. Y equals 1 squared plus 2 times 1 plus 1 equals. 1 squared is 1 plus 2, 3 plus 1 is 4. So is it coming down in even numbers? Not really, is it? Yeah, it's come down 7, then it's come down 5. So y equals 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus 1. Nothing, just 1. Okay, now y equals minus 1 squared plus 2 times minus 1 plus 1. So minus 1 squared is 1. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. So we've got 1 minus 2 is minus 1 plus 1 is 0. Okay, so 0 in there. Now y equals minus 2 squared plus 2 times minus 2 plus 1. So minus 2 squared is 4. 2 times minus 4 is minus 4. So 4 and minus 4 is nothing, plus 1 is 1. Now, y equals minus 3 squared plus 2 times minus 3 plus 1 equals that. 3 squared is 9. 2 times minus 3 is 6. So 9 minus 6 is 3 plus 1 is 4. Now, remember this parabola has a line of symmetry, so as we would expect on the y, there would be a, because the y is the up and down bit, yeah, on the y, there's a pattern. See, we start right up here at 16, then we go 9, 4, 1, 0, and then we go up around the other side, 1, 4, and the next one will be 16, but we haven't got that far. So it's a bit off center because the zeros don't line up, and it is a nice positive curve because this is an x squared rather than a minus x squared. So let's try and do these. So minus 3 and 4 is there. Minus 2 and 1 is there. Minus 1 and 0 there. It's a bit small, isn't it? 0 and 1 is there. 1 and 4 is there. And 2 and 9 is there. And 3 and 16 is right up there. Okay, so there we are. So we've got all our points, and now the tricky thing now, especially with this, is to try and draw as smooth a line as possible, joining these up. Oh, a bit wonky, but anyway, yeah. So see this 2 and 9, this would be a minus 4 and 9, so you could continue. And what's this, 3 and 16, so that's another square across. So if you were to continue, it would do that, yeah. So there you go, you've drawn a nice quadratic graph, plotted a quadratic graph. I don't think there's anything more to say about this little bit, but there is, because we're now going to go back and draw a graphical inequality. So this is quite a long lesson, isn't it? Even though I've split it in two. Maybe I should have done it in 3, I don't know. Okay, let's do. Now, a graphical inequality is where we have to draw 3 lines. Okay, now you draw 3 lines, and usually so you're given 3 equations, and you have to draw 3 straight lines. It's always straight lines. We don't want any curves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6. Bit scribbly, sorry. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5, minus 6, minus 7. That's enough, yeah. X and Y. So, graphical inequalities. Okay, so we said we're going to have to do 3 straight lines. Draw the 3 straight lines. So if you go 1, 2, 3, you always get a triangle in the middle. And this is always marked with an R, which is the region of inequality. Yeah, the region of inequality. So this is why we had to learn how to draw straight line graphs before we can do this bit. So you have to do both. So let's do some straight lines. Now they will give you a mixture of straight lines. Some where you have to faff around with the equations before you can begin. Others are quite easy. Yeah, so let's do some. Let's have x is greater than 1. Now, when you do a straight line graph with a greater or less symbol in, just think of it as an equals, it won't matter, but it has to be represented by a dashed line. The second one, y, is greater than minus 2, and I'm going to put that in there. So when you have a greater than or equals or less than or equals, it's represented by a solid line. And the third one, x plus y is less than 6. So that is going to be a dashed line as well. But this is a bit awkward, this one. So let's do the first two. So just think of them as we did earlier on by just saying I need a line x equals 1. Yeah. So x equals 1 is going to be here all the way through my lovely numbers, yeah. let's mark it up so everybody knows what we're doing. X is there 1. Now, remember I said it's got to be a dashed line, so I'll just take some little chunks out without rubbing out too many numbers. Yeah, there. So it's a dashed line that represents that one. Good, got that next one. So we're going to do a red one now, as we did before. Y is more than or equals to 2. So this is a solid line where -2. Y is -2, so we're going to go there. So this line is y is less than 2. A solid line. Now the third one is the one we've got to mess around with, because I want it to look like y equals something, like the ones above. So we need to do this x. Move the x over the other side by subtracting. So we've got y 6 minus x. Table of 3 coming up. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. So x, y, 1, 2, 3. When x is 1, 6 minus 1 is 5. When x is 2, it's 4. When x is 3, it's 3. Here's our coordinates to do this third line. So x is 1, y is 5, there. X is 2, y is 4, there. X is 3, y is 3, there. So we've got 3 points all in a straight row. So if we draw them like this, and we're going to go up the other way so I can label. And this again has got to be a dashed line. So okay, so there's our dashed line. Don't go too far. Right. Okay, so label up the line, which is x plus y is less than 6. All 3 lines are numbered. They're all either dashed or solid. And you've got in here, and I'll do it in a big fancy letters, yeah. In here is the region of inequality that you will have to mark. And that is how to do graphical inequalities. Okay, where's my cursor? And that's it. See you in the next one.